just to be clear, I have been sitting here for about 20 minutes waiting for Renae. So if you watched last episode, I was in a lot of trouble for being late. Renae is not in trouble today because she does what the fuck she wants.
No, because there was
right.
no.
8 o'clock, we were supposed to start at 8:30.
Who said we were supposed to start at 8 o'clock? Nobody told me we were starting at 8 o'clock.
We talked about it this morning.
No, we did not. You just said we need to podcast early, but you did not give a time, sir.
Why are you lying to the people?
I'm not. I am not lying. I'm not lying. You didn't tell me a time. We don't have to leave till 10 o'clock today.
Renae also has this amazing ability of only hearing the things that she wants to hear. It's a very...
You did not say 8 o'clock. So I woke up, I was packing the kids.
You look beautiful, you look great.
I made sure they had breakfast.
Here's the crazy part. We are still sick. And I don't know what it is, what's going on. Renae thought maybe we have mold in our carpet or something. I don't know. But
I think we need to get like some sort of air purifier for the house.
For the room or the house, yep.
Yeah. And we also have I think we have like a system where that can happen if we do certain things up in the attic too. But,
I will check. Yeah, I will definitely.
I think maybe we need some air purification.
Well, we're in the middle of it. We're going Rickless today. We're going Rickless. We are in the midst of I am in the midst of a very, very tough weekend of gigs and traveling and
not weekend, like
shows,
couple weeks. Yeah.
Week really. I mean, it's pretty tough. We normally I do not do Sundays. For whatever reason, we agreed to do Cedar Rapids on a Sunday, which was fine.
Routing
wise or whatever, a beautiful little town. So then I did Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which normally I'm home on Sunday. Give me opportunity to either go to church or go to baseball or just be with the family.
See the kids because they're home on Sundays.
And catch up with them. Not the case. So I got home yesterday, which was Monday. Hauled ass to eat lunch with Garrett and then went to go pick up Delilah because I missed them very, very deeply. And then argued with Renae, which was fun. Missed her very deeply. And the arguing. And after that, we had let's talk about this.
Yeah.
It is so crazy. We are in the midst, and I was just talking about this with other friends. If it's a shame because there's so many great people that we would like to get closer to, hang out with, do things with, socialize with. And it is so crazy that they go to the same school. Their kids go to the same school. They live minutes from us. Yeah. Not far at all.
Yeah.
And we just don't see them.
Well, our kids are kind of the same ages. Our sons are, not our daughters. Our sons are in the same grade, but not our daughters. But they are in different sports, different activities. And so even though they're like preschool friends and they see each other on the playground and they play together on the playground.
And they say what's up to each other and continue to be friends.
But us getting together as families, when we schedule something, we have to schedule it weeks in advance. And even then sometimes we cancel
or we're like, we can't make it. And we're
constantly canceling or rescheduling.
And it's so funny because, he'll call me and say, hey, let's get together. We'll have a nice dinner. We'll bring the kids over. And I'm like, okay, well, what day works for you? And he's like, well, I can do probably Wednesday. And I don't know, he'll go, I can do Monday. I'm like, oh, Monday we got...
Those are out for us. Okay,
what about Tuesday? I'm like, oh, Tuesday
that's
we got...
That's out for us too, yeah.
So it's so crazy that we are kind of in the midst of life where if you're not on our baseball team, we probably can't hang out.
Yeah.
Because it's so crazy right now.
Yeah, last year, Delilah in dance class had a little friend, and the mom and I were friends. So we ended up signing up the girls to do it together. It was so nice because during that hour while the girls were dancing, we got to visit and catch up. And now she's had a baby, and they're not in dance class anymore. And I haven't seen her. I haven't seen the new baby.
And then on the weekends, if you're baseball people, you're at a baseball tournament all weekend.
Yeah.
So it's not even like, even if I was home on the weekends, it's not like you can hang out on the weekends because we're spending our weekends at a baseball tournament.
Or even our friends who have kids on other teams. It's like, well, we don't have a tournament this weekend. Y'all want to hang out? Nope, we're playing over here. We're here this weekend. It's the phase of life that we're in.
No, well, yes, it's a phase of life, but I think it's the modern phase of life. I didn't grow up. I mean,
you want to go back to COVID days?
No. Like back when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I was not in travel baseball. I was not, doing baseball 3 days a week.
I mean, I was gone.
We had baseball practice, and then we played a game.
I was gone at baseball. I mean, at baseball tournaments. I was gone at drama tournaments every weekend. Like I left school on Fridays, and that was my Friday, Saturday.
Which is wild to me. That is so wild to me.
Yeah.
That your 4 years in high school, almost every weekend, you were gone.
I mean, we got weekends off, but pretty regularly I was gone Friday, Saturdays. Yeah.
Yeah, almost every weekend.
Yeah.
Without your parents.
Yeah.
In the high school years.
Yeah.
And you graduated at 17.
Yeah.
So that means that from you were a freshman when you were 13?
Yeah.
So that means that from 13 to 17,
14, 15, 16, so yeah. 13.
Your parents barely saw you on the weekends. And then they worked during the week.
And I was at school.
So then your parents saw you very little from 13 to 17. Because then you went to NYU.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That blow your mind.
I mean, we did Sundays together. We had Sundays.
I don't know if I'd be okay with that. I mean, if Garrett was like, yeah, I'm doing this thing where I just leave without you guys. I'd be like, no, I'm going with you.
Chaperoning. Yeah. Volunteer to be a judge.
Something.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
And again, I'm not judging your parents because they were doing what they had to do, right? And they had to work hard.
Well, they also had a kid. Like, that's what I wanted to do, Well,
no, I get
that's
it.
what I was really passionate about.
I totally get it. But it is, for me, I did Boy Scouts for a little while. Had to go to religion class. Religion class was very important to my parents. So I had to do religion class. And that was kind of a season. It wasn't every week. It was kind of a season. And then baseball season would come, and I'd play baseball. And then football season would come, and I'd play football. And then in the summer, my dad would put me to work to keep me busy.
Yeah.
And then, I broke my back sophomore year of football season, and then recovered, and then junior year, back to work.
Yeah. I guess you didn't play travel sports, but my drama tournaments were the equivalent of travel sports for a drama nerd.
Now that I really think about it, I worked a lot.
Yeah.
Like I was always working. I was always, after school I'd go to my job.
I mean, the truth is when you're a teenager, you don't want to hang out with your parents anyway.
No, you don't. And
that's why they take summer vacations, because that's when you're forced to get to spend time with them.
Yeah. And I don't know. I'm hoping that I can continue to have a great relationship with my children into high school. I hope they want to hang out with me.
Yeah.
That's why I think that hunting and fishing is so important for father sons.
Yeah.
Because Garrett absolutely loves to hunt with me, absolutely loves to go fishing with me.
Yeah.
I love having him with me. Father son, and I don't think that interest is going to go away. And I think that the outdoors, hunting and fishing leads to a good relationship with dad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I'd like to start taking Delilah probably next year and just kind of see what
she gravitates towards.
About, because you are not into hunting at all.
I took her to Boot Barn or Cavender's or something, and they had those little guns that have the red things with all the circles, the little popper guns. Yeah. Yes. And she was like, she had to have the popper gun. It was so funny. They're loud. She loved it.
She was all about it.
She loved it. Yeah.
And then we're doing this podcast super early in the morning, drinking our old salt coffee. Go ahead and throw that.
I was about to tell you, Mike. You made my coffee this morning. It's very good. You did a good job.
Is it bad that I made Renee's coffee for her and I was so afraid that I was going to do it wrong? Is that bad? Do we have a good relationship? I don't think we do. And I think that's very unhealthy. I was scared to death, dude.
I was dying laughing because
I was like, I'm already going to hear it. I'm going to try to put the right amount of creamer.
Most people know their significant other's coffee order.
I was waiting for, I'll just go do it myself. That's what I was waiting for.
No. When I go to Starbucks, what's my coffee order? Charlie knows Alexis's coffee order. When I want to get Alexis coffee at a baseball tournament.
Latte, skinny milk, bullshit.
No.
Is that what it is?
Close.
What is it? What is your Starbucks? Everybody wants to know what Captain Evil Starbucks was.
I do a skinny vanilla latte with milk alternative, with the coconut milk.
Do you know what's my order?
Milk, black coffee, or at Starbucks you like an Americano. Or a shot of espresso in your coffee.
Yes. I actually like coffee. I like the taste of coffee. Yeah. Didn't always.
Yeah.
I used to not like coffee. But today, we're podcasting super early because, yes, I got back from Cedar Rapids yesterday. Today, we are headed to Corpus Christi, Texas to do the rodeo.
Yeah.
Which I will tell you that I'm very proud to do the rodeo. Uh-huh. I'm very excited about it. We broke the record at the rodeo for a Tuesday show 2 years ago.
Did you do it on a Tuesday last year too?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, for some reason I thought it was like a Thursday or something.
It was a Tuesday, I think, and right now we're already over 3,000 tickets, which is really exciting. However, it is tough to do stand up. Yeah, it's pouring.
It's pouring.
Pouring. My yard's gonna look so good. It's that natural rain. It's gonna make it pop as soon as that sun comes out.
I need to go pull my potted plants out on the porch real quick.
It's not so conducive to stand up.
Yeah, I mean the setup is crazy.
It's tough, but
I can see how it would translate for a musical act, right? Because it's not a very different setup for them for music, in a big arena show, but for stand up, it's hard.
But I do, the Coastal Bend is what they call it. That area is just so supportive and so great to me, and I honestly do not think I would have made it in this career without the beautiful, hardworking people of the Coastal Bend.
Yeah.
Absolutely love them.
We filmed Relatable there.
Yep, love being from there. Proud to be from there.
I haven't watched Relatable in so long. It just made me think about it. I want to go back and watch it again.
I've never seen it.
I'll play it for you.
No, we're good. We're good. But it's that community affects the entire country.
Yeah.
They refine your oil. They are the people who grow your cotton and your corn and your grains, and they are the people that refine the oil and make aluminum and make all kinds of natural gas products that get distributed all over the nation and sometimes all over the world. And these hardworking people are my relatives, so very excited to go back there. Do want to go to Portland, take a picture by the Trevino Street.
Oh, that's right. You haven't had a chance to do that.
I haven't had a chance to do that, so I'm very excited about that.
They named a street after your family.
I will have tomorrow off, which is Wednesday, and then I will be back on the road.
But it's not even, we're traveling back tomorrow.
Yeah, and then I will be back on the road on Thursday to go and do
You're
Columbus,
literally
Ohio.
Traveling every day this week.
Every day this week.
Traveled Monday, traveling Tuesday, traveling back Wednesday, traveling out Thursday. Do you have to? Oh, and then you'll be in Columbus for a few days, but yeah.
It's gonna, but then I'm taking a week off, which is gonna be nice, and it just so happened that I'm gonna be able to do the daddy-daughter dance with my little baby girl Delilah, and then I will fly home for Mother's Day. What do you want for Mother's Day? Let's go ahead and take care of that.
We're gonna be in different directions for Mother's Day. Because Delilah has her dance recital and Garrett's got a baseball tournament, and one is close to San Antonio and the other's in Austin.
Can I buy you a gift? What do you want?
Literally in separate directions.
I will say that though,
I'm gonna go get a massage and a facial and just take a little time.
Going back to our conversation earlier, the couple that we're talking about last night, he had a birthday, and we made an effort to see them, hang out with them, love them very dearly, and but we continue to try, and we don't give up on each other.
Yes.
And there's another couple that actually went through the baseball drama with us, and we have continued to try to have a relationship, and you have to try.
Yeah.
Like, you literally have to try and make that effort. Now, I will say that
I think you just get pickier about who you try with, because it's so stinking hard.
It's hard, and you have to be really specific, and you try. But what I was going to say is that I also don't hold against the people that don't try. Not because they don't love us, or because life's crazy. They're trying with somebody else. We're still friends.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But the people you choose to be close to,
I also feel like I know some people who are like, if you need something and you pick up the phone and you call, they will be helpful, or they will try and connect you, or point you in the right direction, but they also just make a choice to be like, at this phase in our life, we're just focusing on our family.
Yeah, but then you've got, when we first moved to this neighborhood, we lived in a different house, and we got we've been very lucky with neighbors.
We have.
We got very close with the Scotts and love them, love their family, and I still feel like we're still good friends. Yeah. Even though we don't see them as much as we would like. Yeah. We support each other's businesses. I carpool their kids to school. Yeah. Which I love. And here's a question for you and the world. So remember, you called her yesterday to tell her that we were not taking the kids to school today, that she would have to figure that out. And I told you I want to ask her a question. Right? So I met their daughter when she was Delilah's age. She was 4.
Was she that little?
She was 4, and she was so stinking cute. And she was just this little cute little girl with this tiny little voice. And anytime something would happen with the boys, she'd come get me. Mr. Steve, can you go get mad at them? And then I'd go out there and pretend to yell at them and get upset with them. And she'd kind of walk off like,
I did that.
I got my little protector, Yeah. So, very big fan of their kids and good kids. And so when we were talking about Easter, right? So I would talk to the kids in the car about like, what do they want to see for Easter and what? Yes.
How do we make it better? What
That's why we ended up with 4 piñatas, because they were like, we need more piñatas, right? But one of the things she said, she kept saying, I want a makeup kit for the girls. It should be a makeup kit, right?
Oh, okay.
And a makeup kit.
Okay.
And a makeup kit. And I want a makeup kit.
We should have done face painting.
And I wish I had a makeup kit.
Yes.
Right? So now I would like to buy the kids an end of the year, because I take them to school almost every day. And I love taking them to school. And I would like to buy them an end of the year gift. But my question to you as a mom.
Yes.
Is it appropriate to get her a little makeup kit?
Oh, I mean, I think you read the mom, right?
Well, that's why I wanted to ask the mom.
I think that family would be perfectly fine with it.
I still think we need to. Is that one of those that you need to ask?
You know why I would ask? The bougie mom in me would ask only because if they have some sort of skin sensitivity or allergy, or if mom is only buying her clean things for her cute little baby skin, as opposed to like the makeup at the Dollar Tree that probably has chemicals and lead in it.
I don't know. I don't know any of this, right? And I also don't want to. I also don't want to. Now, I will tell you that I know that she does wear some makeup.
Sure, a little lip
when
gloss.
I pick her up, she has a little something, and she reminds me a little bit of Delilah, because she was always very fashionable. Yeah. When she was 4, oh my God, she'd come out in some outlandish shit.
Her little outfit. Yeah.
She'd put a little freaking tutu on top of some jeans, and like she was like Punky Brewster.
She ran with the boys because she had all brothers, but she was girly.
So that's one of those questions where it's like, I don't want to just do it and then find out that the parents are not okay with it.
Oh, yeah. I think they would be okay. Oh, like the time you took someone's kid to get a haircut?
Yeah, I didn't realize I was going to be a thing.
That's what you asked
for. First of all, I did not take him to get a haircut. He was with me. We went to go get haircuts, and then I felt bad, and I was like, "Well, do you want a quick trim or whatever?" And he was like, "Sure, great." And then the mom called me and was like, "I just gave him a haircut. I like the way his hair was.
We're gonna have family
I'm upset,
pictures.
not upset, And I was like, ooh, okay, well.
I felt like that was an obvious one. Like, of course you ask someone's parents before you get their haircut.
No. I didn't. But what?
Think about how you are with Delilah's hair.
Delilah's a girl.
My mom snipped the ends of her curls.
Delilah's a girl. He already had a short haircut. I literally just trimmed it up. I just cleaned it. That's why I thought it was okay. Yeah. But clearly it was not, and I felt terrible about it. And we're still friends, of course, with the parents.
Yeah.
And the mom called and she was like, "Hey, I wish you would have asked." And I'm like, "Oh shoot, I'm sorry." Yeah. I feel bad. Yeah. But yeah, so that's why I'm like, okay, now with the makeup, I better freaking ask.
I don't think that mom will mind at all.
Well, I think we should still ask. Don't you think we should still ask?
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask.
But I just thought, because next week's the last week of school, I thought, I'll give her a ride.
Or 2 weeks. They have 2 weeks.
I'll give her a ride, and I will give her a little gift and say, hey, thinking about you. Thanks for riding with me all year. Here's a little something. And then, of course, for him as well, right?
Yeah.
And we're losing him, which has been crazy because, I used to give all 3 of their kids a ride last year. And then he went off to middle school, so then I lost one.
Yeah.
And then now the other one's going to middle school.
And now since she's a girl, I don't know if she's going to, I hate to break your heart, Steve Trevino, but I don't know if she's going to want to ride with you in the mornings. She might want to go with the girlfriend that lives in the neighborhood, her bestie.
I'm going to miss her, but I understand.
Yeah.
And I get it. And I enjoy, those moments in the morning when I get to
bribe her with a good gift.
Delilah knows now. She's like, okay, Dad, they're out of the car. Can we do Kids Bop? So I put on the Kids Bop. There's a Kids Bop.
Well, for me, it helps to have to go pick up the big kids. That's how I get Delilah out the door when you're traveling. I'm like, Delilah, we got to go. Like, we got to pick up the big kids. We're going to make them late. So if we don't have the big kids, I don't know how I'm going to negotiate getting Delilah in the car in the morning.
Always on schedule. But what I will say, we have been very lucky with neighbors.
Yeah.
We've gotten to be very good friends with our neighbors again.
Yes.
Mike and Christina, and they are, and that guy it was weird because I met their youngest daughter. The older daughter, we know her, but she's in high school. So she's like, hi, bye. That's.
We see her at Schillerron in the summers when she's lifeguarding. There she is.
She's like, hi, bye, kind of a deal. And the little one, she when she first moved in, she was this little girl, and then I've seen her kind of, she was this little tomboy, tough little girl, wanting to play with Garrett and wrestle on the trampoline all the time and fight all the time. And now she's like makeup and little lady and middle school, and I'm just like, oh.
Now she comes over and she gets Delilah dressed up and she fixes her hair. So
that happened to me with Victoria, my sister's kids. When I just loved them when they were so little, and they'd Uncle Steve and
wanted
Uncle
to pounce
Steve,
on you
and they'd jump on me and they'd comb my hair, and we'd wrestle and we'd have fun and we'd giggle and we'd have silly jokes together, and now I get this look. That's the look I get.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, I miss the little girls.
Yeah. Devices make it hard. Devices make it really hard. And it's such a part of our,
we invite, every
lives.
summer we try to invite them to the house.
Yeah.
So they can do Schlitterbahn and we can take them and do cool things. And sometimes now, because they're teenagers, they don't even talk to us.
Yeah.
Literally, and I'm like, oh, well, hey, guys. Oh, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, my God, I miss these girls.
I think of it in terms of, I'm thinking of it in terms of our kids, is how do we navigate that situation? I already had a conversation with Garrett about a lot of parents deciding not to let their kids have social media till they're 15. And I said, that's kind of where I'm leading, son.
It's tough. We live in a AI world.
Yeah.
We live in a world that 90% of jobs are going to be navigated with a computer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's tough. I mean, you just have to find that balance of what does that mean?
Yeah. I think even with the animals in the back, I go back and forth because we're so busy, right? And it's we're leaving out of town. So we got to go take care of the goats before we leave. And then they'll be okay till we get back tomorrow. But we have to squeeze that in now too. And when you're traveling and it's me with both kids and the baseball tournaments, and then now I have animals that we're responsible for too. It's just it's a lot. But at the same time, on the weekends, last weekend when we didn't have a tournament, it's all right, kids, TV off, devices off. Let's go check on the chickens. Let's go check on the goats. It's something that we can do back. You talk about the hunting and the fishing. It's something that we can go back there and do together and
and they enjoy
have
it.
them unplug. Yeah.
And Delilah enjoys it, and she's become the goat whisperer.
And then once we're out there, it's, well, let's take the ranger for a ride. And can I take sister for a ride around the back? Sure, you guys go, once you get them off of them. But I just, it's tricky to navigate.
It is definitely tough, and I'm definitely looking forward to summer, where everything slows down a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Then we'll have time for late dinners with friends. but also evenings and balancing out the kids' TV and tablet time.
Gosh, we have a busy summer. We're doing Boots on the Beach in Cabo with our friend Casey Donahue. And I think Wade Bowen's going to be on that one, and Josh Abbott and Pat Green. And so very excited about that.
Yeah.
Then we're going to Europe in several weeks from now.
Yeah, a month, less than a month.
Go to Steve Trevino, go to Europe tour, click on that. We're almost sold out in most markets. One of them, Germany does not like me.
I think we need to do some sort of ticket giveaway, or like a chance for, if people in the States know, I don't know what it is, but if people in the States know someone in that city and they tag them, maybe
something.
Yeah.
Something.
We'll send them something.
For most cities, we're almost sold out. Germany, for whatever reason, they don't like me. I don't know what's going on in Germany, but I like you. I like you. I feel like the Rocky speech. At first, you didn't like me, and I didn't like you either. And now I like you guys.
That's your promo video for Hamburg. You gotta make it.
I need to do.
Do they know who Rocky is in Hamburg?
Rocky. Come on. Rocky's the greatest heavyweight champion boxer in all the world. But I'm very excited about it. And I'm excited about summer. Excited about my tours are going to slow down a little bit. We're going to do some cool stuff. We're going to Fort Myer to play. Garrett got invited to play the PG Classic as an all-star. Another money grab, but but we're all about it.
We're up for it.
Yeah, we're up for it. We had such a good experience last time and met some very, very cool people, and and I hope they get to go. Did you talk to?
She did. She sent me a message. They're going. I told her where we were staying.
That we ended up hanging out with at the hotel.
No, I need to.
That we started off on a rocky foot, and now we love them, and hopefully we can catch back up with them. So, and then we're gonna go visit our little Rockport house that we have. And spend some time down there, and hopefully I know there's a lot of parents that, because they work, summers are really hard for them.
Yeah, you're trying to juggle kids who aren't in school and summer camp.
And for me, it's my opportunity to really spend time with my kids.
Yeah.
Because I'm gone on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Right. So looking forward to that. Hopefully connecting with some friends. I still think, because we have that beautiful barn, that we should do a dance for the adults.
Yeah.
Where we do like a theme, do something fun.
Summer nights.
Yeah, and invite those couples that we're still friends with but don't get to see all the time.
Yeah.
And have a summer nights kind of a thing out there.
Or a movie. Do an outdoor movie.
Well, we always do that with the kids. I have my 150-inch screen that I set up, and then we usually watch like Sandlot or
I like that. I like the outdoor movie.
Something really cool, and we bring out the little popcorn machine, and I turn it into a movie theater. And
s'mores in the fire pit.
And do something like that. But it is relationships are tough to navigate at this age and with everything going on in life.
Yeah. I have actually, like, my best friends from high school, one of them, their mom had a group of friends that no matter what, every year they got together, even if it was just once a year.
Well, you try to do that with your LA friends.
We do, and I've had to miss it the last 2 years because just life has happened. But even with my high school girlfriends and their mom that did it, she did say, when we had kids, when they're little, you just like bring them along and it's not a big deal. But then when they're at this sort of elementary school age, she's like, it was harder, and some of us couldn't make it, or a kid gets sick, like one year, one of my LA girlfriends last minute canceled and didn't make it because she got a sick kiddo. And she's like, how do I leave this sick kiddo with, so I really do think it's a phase.
No, it's definitely a part of our lives. And for me, at my age, most of my friends have kids that are already either in high school or graduating.
Yeah.
And I have littles. I have little ones, right? So for me, it's a little tough. We are very and I do want to sneak away with Captain Evil and a couple of couples to go to Vegas for a day. We did that 2 years ago, and I really enjoyed it.
A little more than a day. What did we do? We did
2 days.
2 nights?
2 nights.
2 nights, 3 days, 2 nights.
Yeah, we left 2 nights and just had a date, husband and wife, And I explained to Garrett, I said, look, me and mommy want to be good daddies and a good dad and a good mom.
Yeah.
And that means that we have to also be husband and wife.
Yeah.
And I want to take your mom on a date because I love your mom and I want to be just me and your mom.
Yeah.
And Garrett understands that, and even last night I go, hey, we're going on a date. We're going to dinner. Oh, it's just you and mom, right? You need to. And I'm like, yeah, Got to take mom out, for a dinner with our friends, which was really funny because we found a really cool spot. And then because it was raining, the indoor spot was literally just a bar. And then the patio was where you're supposed to eat dinner. But because it was raining, we ended up taking over the bar, right? And, Texas State is a college town.
Yeah.
So there's like college kids in the corner, and then there's all of us like
on the other corner
hanging out at Texas State where they have a coach that's a real piece of shit.
Okay.
And cheats.
Okay.
He's the pitching coach.
Okay, enough.
Enough. Sorry, I get excited. I want people to know. I want people to know that they're horrible human beings.
I just got coffee up my nose.
Well, good for you.
Thank you.
So today we're going to knock this out. We're going to go to the rodeo. We're going to fly back tomorrow morning. I'm going to fly out Thursday, and we're going to get through this week. We're going to get through this week, and I need your help.
You're going to get through this week.
I need your help.
Yeah.
Nothing against this weekend. Oh, and then I forgot to tell you this. So, when I lived in LA, and I had a class of comedians.
What do you mean a class? Oh, like that
we all
came up together?
We came up together.
Yeah.
We would see each other all the time.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we all stood outside at the Comedy Store trying to get spots, and that was the phase in our career. And then we'd all hang out at the Laugh Factory, and we'd all hang out at the Improv, right? And then it was so funny because everything was happening for us all pretty much at the same time.
Yeah.
Right? We all got new cars at the same time. We all,
Yeah.
One of my favorite people that always made me feel comfortable and always was a star. He was a star.
Yeah.
And a lot of the guys that were ahead of me that were stars, man, it was just always so uncomfortable. And they kind of had their own group. And, if you found yourself hanging out or talking or doing something with them, you go, man, that's cool. But none of them made me feel welcome.
Yeah.
Right? The one guy that always made me feel very welcome was Nick Swartzen.
Yeah.
And Nick he never hung out at the Comedy Store. Very rare.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a picture of him dressed like a baby where I'm holding him.
It was Halloween or something, wasn't it? Why was he
just
dressed like a baby?
Because he's fucking Nick Swartzen and he's out of his mind.
Okay, if you don't know who Nick Swartzen is, he's in like every Adam Sandler movie, right? There was a phase where literally he has a part in every...
He's actually going to be in Happy Gilmore too, he told me.
Oh, awesome.
But he was one of those guys that was always super, and a big sports guy.
Really?
And a big baseball guy.
Okay.
So when I would go to the Improv and Nick would be there, he would make the bartender Eddie, he'd make him put on baseball.
Yeah.
So I loved it. So I go, man, I'm going to the Improv because I know there's a game and I know that I could watch the game with Nick.
Yeah.
So I'd go and Nick and I would watch baseball and talk baseball and he just loved baseball. I love the guy and always very friendly and he, in his defense, he tried to cast me in a movie and got very upset with me because I turned it down because it was a valet parker with an accent. And he got mad at me and he was like, Steve, I'm trying to get you in. And I go, Nick, I'm not going to get in by playing a stereotype. Like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, I don't mind playing a successful stereotype, right? I don't mind playing a character that maybe owns a business or is successful or hardworking, but and not that valet parkers aren't hardworking, but it's like I have to be the valet parker dude.
I don't think people real when you say that, like my heart sinks and it sinks because I know what that feeling feels like, right? You want something so bad. You do want to say yes to the opportunity. You don't want to turn an opportunity down. Could it possibly turn into something else? But the sad, shitty part of the situation, at least then when you and I were living in Hollywood, is that you would take that part and it would be a shitty part and that would typecast you. And anytime they need someone to play that role again, you're the one who gets called. Well, I mean, I just did an audition. And you don't want that to be your first,
right.
big bit part.
I just did an audition yesterday of a Mexican immigrant man that came to America and is now a very successful business owner.
Okay, you have to be careful because you can't say a lot of details about it.
I can't say a lot of details, but he is now a very successful business owner, right? And the character is somebody who worked his ass off for the American dream and overcame all the obstacles to become very, very successful.
Yeah.
I don't mind playing that guy.
Yeah.
Does that guy have a little bit of an accent? Yes. Does that guy, a Mexican? Yes.
Yeah.
Right? But he's also very successful. So I don't mind playing something like that. But when he's like, hey, dude, be this bit part where you're the silly Mexican valet parker, right? And Nick actually got mad at me. He was like, dude, I'm trying to get you. And I'm like, dude, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not. Sorry, man. Like, I love you. Thank you. I'm not doing it. Right.
Yeah.
And look, in retrospect, had I done it and then all of a sudden am I in all the Adam Sandler movies? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. That's why it's a hard choice to make in the moment. Yeah.
But at that moment, it was a tiny part where I had to have a very thick accent and I was the valet parker.
Yeah.
At one point they throw me the keys, and then I say some like silly, and it was very, it was very thick accent, right?
Yeah.
And I just don't want to do it anyway. So
hard.
But you move on, and then you end up headlining, right?
Uh-huh.
It's cousin Abel. Hey brother, I'm right in the middle of the podcast. I'll call you right back.
Okay.
All right. Nick was just one of those guys that was very real.
Yeah.
That when I would sit down and have a conversation with him, it was real. When we had a conversation, he was focused on me and not everybody else.
Yeah.
Most conversations in LA were very, I always tell people they would talk to you, but they were always looking for somebody bigger to talk to in the room.
Or when you're in the Comedy Store at the Improv, it's like who's walking in and who am I gonna talk to next?
Who am I gonna network with?
Yeah.
Right. And that was never my attitude. My attitude was I'm here to do stand up.
Yeah.
I want to be really good at it.
Yeah.
And I want to, while I'm waiting, maybe I get to talk to somebody cool that I might get along with. Right. And there were a few, but Nick was just one of those. And then to even go back, one of my favorite comedians when I was working the door at the Addison Improv was this guy named Cash Levy. Super cool.
I don't know Cash Levy.
He does a lot of writing.
Okay.
But gosh, I remember him coming. I remember like all these comedians would come through, and I'd be like, "Oh, I'm better than that guy," or "That guy's not that funny," or or "That guy really," you know what I mean? Yeah. Especially the middle acts. Right, the headliners, I'd be like, "Oh shit!" Like that guy's really funny.
Yeah.
No. Cash was a middle act, so he comes in and he just looks like this regular dude, and holy shit, was he funny, and holy crap, was he a good writer.
Yeah.
And me and him ended up hanging out that entire weekend. Really got along. Another baseball guy.
Yeah.
Another baseball guy. So Saturday night after our show in Des Moines, we go back to the hotel. Our big plan is... This past weekend.
Yeah.
Our big plan is we're going to watch the Canelo fight. Right? The Canelo fight's on. It's Cinco de Mayo weekend. There's always a Canelo fight, right? Or De La Hoya fight, or whoever, right?
Some boxing match.
So I get it on pay-per-view. We set up the tablet. Me and Johnny and Kyle and John, we're all sitting down watching, and this guy walks by, and we both look at each other, and then I'm just like... I felt uncomfortable.
Because he caught you staring at him?
Yeah, because we both caught each other staring at each other, right? Uh-huh. And I literally lean over to Johnny and I go, "Oh my God, dude, that guy looks like Cash Levy." Right? Uh-huh. And then he stops, he goes, "It is Cash Levy." And I'm like, "Oh shit, what's up, man?" Right? So he comes over, he starts chatting. I'm like, "Dude, what are you doing in town?" And he's like, "Oh, I just worked with Nick Swartzen." I'm like, "Nick's here?" He's like, "Yeah, Nick's here." He's coming back down.
Oh.
Right? So Nick comes down and, immediately we're joking around and catching up. And the really cool part is I got to meet his brother. Uh-huh. His brother's a musician.
Yeah.
His brother is obsessed with Texas country music and red dirt music.
Really?
So, man, we start talking. I'm like, "Dude, come record at my studio."
Where does his brother live?
They live in Minneapolis.
Okay.
So I'm like, "Dude, come down to New Braunfels." He's like, "Oh my gosh. Doesn't Wade Bowen live there? Doesn't Randy Rogers live there?" I go, "Yep." And Parker McCullum. And, and he's like, "Oh, I got to go." I show him the studio. Uh-huh. He's like, "Holy shit. I got some stuff I want to work on, blah, blah, blah." So I hit it off with his brother immediately. But just seeing Nick, and Nick was so sweet. And he's like, "Man, we were just talking about you in Chicago. And, Steve, I've been watching your career. Congratulations. He goes, you look better now than you did back then. I go, well, back then I was struggling, dude. I had no fucking money. I was sad, you know.
Yeah. Now you can afford probiotics.
Yeah. And we were just talking about life and catching up. And it was just one of those moments where it just felt so good that Nick and I still have a great relationship.
Yeah.
I saw a guy that I admired. I saw a guy that in my opinion always treated me with respect and was always kind.
Yeah.
You know, and then to get to know his brother, and his brother's just as kind and awesome.
Yeah.
As he is, right?
Yeah.
Johnny and Nick are talking comedy. I'm talking comedy with Cash. Turns out Cash, again, very similar, coaches his kids in baseball.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, I got to get on a 3:00 in the morning flight. I'm coaching my son. It's championship Sunday. I'm like, dude, I'm like,
oh, that's awesome.
And then we had this big conversation about like, he's like, dude, it's just better. You know, he's like, if I sleep here, I'm probably not gonna sleep. And then by the time I get there, I wasted my whole day. I've missed the baseball tournament. He's like, I'd just rather not sleep. And so he's literally on the same schedule I am, and has the same attitude towards it. So it was just a great Saturday to, you know, because there wasn't a lot going on in Des Moines. No offense to Des Moines, but there wasn't a lot going on. We got the bottle of Crown and a couple of beers, and we're literally sitting in the lobby just watching this fight, and it turned out to be a really cool Saturday night.
I actually remember a lot of nights you coming home from working at the Comedy Store and like talking about something funny that Nick did, or like hanging out at Nick, or going up to the Comedy Store with you and him being up there and joking with you, and he was always so like brash and raunchy and funny and
Nick
over
is
the top. Such a great energy.
Just a great energy, good guy, very genuine, you know, and very kind.
Yeah.
My favorite was, there was a guy named Anthony Clark. Anthony Clark was on Yes Dear and was a big deal at one
point. For a while,
yeah.
right? He had a good 2 years where he was kind of, his face was everywhere.
But he would come into the Improv and he would cause havoc. I mean, he would say, he would get drunk.
Oh, I was like, what do you mean? People would go crazy because he walked in the door?
No, he would get drunk.
Uh-huh.
And he would be so shitty.
He was a mean drunk.
To comedians. I mean, he'd literally be like, you need to quit. I just saw your set. It's fucking terrible. And Nick would always call him out. Like, Nick was the only one that would be like, Anthony, stop being a fucking dick, dude. So they would get into arguments and fights.
And Nick's not a big guy. Is Anthony tall in real life?
He's a bigger guy. But, dude, Nick would just sit there and just annihilate Anthony Clark and rile him up. And then he'd get mad. And then he'd have to get kicked out. Right? And then everybody would be like, Nick, stop pissing him off. And then Nick would be like, fuck him. I don't give a fuck, you know? And I used to it was another show.
Yeah.
So I'm like, ooh, there's Anthony Clark. Oh, I'm going to go sit by Nick. I'm going to watch this shit go down, man. And it would, man. And Nick would be.
Yeah.
Nick just didn't put up with this shit.
Yeah.
And it was kind of cool to have an older brother there who was very established in the business and very respected.
Yeah.
To shut him the fuck down.
Yeah.
Because he would be brutally fucking rude and gross to comics.
Yeah.
And my philosophy is, number one, I don't like talking bad about comics. Number one, because we are tortured souls, and it is very, very hard to do what we do.
Oh my God,
right?
yes.
So I try very hard not to badmouth comics. Right?
Yeah.
On this podcast, I have said I'm not going to mention names. Right? I'm not going to say their name because I don't. Now the guy at the Texas State. Fuck him, but and his monster wife.
Okay, Steve.
But I have so much respect for all comics, you know, and I hate when like people make fun of Carrot Top. Carrot Top's very good at what he does.
Yeah,
and he's very original, and he's very funny, and people enjoy what he does. You know. Yeah. I remember sitting at the Addison Improv. I was having a headlining week. Coming back, hey mamas, boo. We're almost done, my love. You want to say hi to the people?
Say hi, hello. You can look at that camera right there.
I love you, mamas. We're almost done. We'll be out in a minute.
Are you hiding behind me? Are you hiding behind me? Oh, you got my hair. Okay, run on out.
Let me finish.
Can you shut the door behind you? We'll be out in 10 minutes.
And we're going on the road together.
You can put your pretty dress that's on your bed. Mommy set your clothes out. Okay, love you.
That little girl is such an attention. Like, what's going on in here? Yeah. You're recording a video? I want to be a part of it, right? She's definitely on board. What were we talking about when she walked in?
What were you talking about? You don't badmouth comics. You were going to tell us a story.
Addison Improv, one of my first headlining weekends. I got there a day early. That day early, they were doing open mic. And I sat there and I watched, open mic. And then all the other open micers were in the back, like waiting to go up. And they were all shitting on Larry the Cable Guy. And they were like, oh, that guy. And, that's really not his name. And it's just a character. And, I just looked at those guys and I'm like, all you guys wish you had that career.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard, man. And at that time, I'm like, guys, this is hard. And you're shitting on a guy who's very, very nice, right? And is very, very good at what he does.
Yeah. Has found a way to be successful.
And I called them all out. And the funny part is, I don't even think any of those guys are still doing comedy.
Yeah.
But I just remember thinking to myself, like, do you guys have any idea how fucking hard this business is? And how hard it is to make it?
Yeah.
And how hard it is to sell a ticket? And how hard it is to actually have a thing?
Yeah.
And to find your voice? And you guys are shitting on this guy that works very hard at what he does and is very nice and is very funny. And then I asked them, I go, have any of you seen him live? And they're like, no. I'm like, go watch him live. He fucking kills.
Yeah.
The guy kills. Larry the Cable Guy was coming to the Improv in Addison when I was working the door, making $1,500 a week, selling no tickets. And he was the funniest dude I had seen. I remember watching him going, oh my God, this dude is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
He's amazing. Then the Blue Collar movie came out and then it was over, right? But anyway, good weekend. Nick Swartzen, love you, man. Thank you for always being kind to me. Thank you for being a real human in LA.
What a happy totally accident. I love when that happens for you, that you see old friends like that.
It was really cool to see him. And big shout out to Gabriel Iglesias and Joe Coy, making history. They're about to do the SoFi.
Yes. It's next. When is it?
Not till next year.
Yeah, I was going to say it's next year,
it's
right?
Like
but
March
they've announced
2026
it.
or something. But I'm so excited for my friends. And holy crap, how amazing is that?
So cool.
And I will advise everybody that you should always cheer on your friends, your family, and their success. If you find yourself being jealous, take a step back.
Yeah.
Pray for yourself. And really find a way to cheer your friends on.
Yeah.
You
should go. You should support.
Absolutely support. It makes me sad that with all the drama in baseball that, I see all the kids that used to be on our team that got busted up and broken up. I want all of them to be on great teams. I want all of them to have success. I want all of them to win. And to hear that there's parents out there that are rooting for other kids' teams not to be good is very, very sad.
No.
Very, very sad and gross. So, love you guys. Coastal Bend Auto Group.
Yes.
Okay. Aztec Chevrolet, Dodge, Ram. They have them all. Oh, mommy, she needs help.
Oh, yep.
I'll let you go, honey.
Okay, thank you.
Love you, doll. You look beautiful as always. You look beautiful too, mamas. Pick Cherries, download the app, and check it out. And all of Rowell Western Wear is doing so great. ROWEL Western.com. If you're into buying some of our shirts and supporting, please do. We love you guys. Rick, we missed you on this podcast. Would have loved to have you join this conversation because I really think that you would have enjoyed it. So, love you, my friend, and we will see you soon.